So thank you, Josh. So we are going to open the Town of Bridgewater Finance Committee meeting for July 12th, 2021. It looks like it's 6:30 p.m. exactly right here. I'm hoping Tony will be on with us by the time we get through this first part here and we get to new business. So the first thing that we are going to do is I hope everybody's had a chance to look at the meeting minutes from the last meeting. And Josh, I just got a quick question. If you know this, can MJ vote on everything this evening?
Yes, you can vote on it.
Okay, because we haven't talked about any of it before, so we should be okay. Okay. All right. So anyways, I hope everybody's had a chance to look at the meeting minutes here. Do we have any questions or comments on last meeting's meeting minutes?
Nope.
Okay. The chair will accept the motion then.
Motion to,
Who was that, Julie?
it was me, Nate, MJ.
Okay, thank you. And we got a second, right?
Nope, not yet.
Second, Susie.
Thank you, Susie. Josh, if you can do a roll call for us, please.
Yep, Nate,
Aye.
Susie,
Aye.
Leah,
I'm going to abstain because I was not at the last meeting.
MJ,
I'll abstain since I wasn't sworn in yet.
Julie, try to unmute her here.
Waiting on Julie, right?
Yep.
I'm sorry, I had a technical difficulty. What else is new? I
Thank you. The motion was approved.
Okay, thank you. All right, the next order of business is public comment. I would ask if there is any public comment that you state your name and your street address. Do we have any public comments? Okay, it doesn't appear that we do, and we have Chris just joined us. Great. So we have 6 of us. I would like to say real quick before we start the meeting, welcome, MJ. We're excited to have another member of the committee. We look forward to working with you.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you. All right, Tony, welcome. I see that you joined us. So the new business, first order of business is FY 21-54, acceptance of federal funds, ARPA-CLFRF funds.
Yes, under the ARPA federal appropriation, the town will receive $2.8 million. It will be used for infrastructure and or some compensation for frontline workers who were in place and functioning during COVID restrictions and the pandemic. This just accepts that grant.
Is it aimed at any specific infrastructure, Tony?
Mostly either water, sewer, or I guess we would call it broadband, but the town of Bridgewater's broadband infrastructure is pretty solid and up to date. I think it was more targeted for those communities in rural areas where they may not have the same sort of infrastructure that someone like Bridgewater would have.
Okay, thank you, Tony.
Tony, do we have to spend it by a certain time or any other stipulations?
Yeah, we have at least 2 full years to spend that.
Thank you.
Good question, Julie.
And all we have to do is make the motion to accept, and then how you spend it doesn't come back to us, right? Or it does?
Correct. It will be based on the restrictions that are governed by the grant.
Thank you. I'm good.
Anybody else have a question for Tony?
No, motion to approve.
Second,
Okay, Josh, if you could do a roll call for us, please.
Nate,
Aye.
Leah,
Aye.
MJ, MJ,
Aye.
thank you. Susie,
Aye.
Julie,
aye.
Chris. Chris. Thank you. The motion was approved.
All right, thank you, everyone. Moving on to our next order of business. It's FY 21-056 contract ratification for the local 1700 AFS CME Council 93. We did get the contract recommendation from the finance department, I believe is who it's from. And so do we have any questions on this one? Well, Tony, do you want to give us a quick overview real quick? And
Yes, there's there's a cost of contract is a total of 43,904 over 3 years, which works out to be 1.03%. There's a signing bonus of $750 per participant in the AFSCME union. And then there's a 0.5% increase in year one and a 0.5% increase in year two. The actual appropriation will come subsequent because we'll have to do calculations based on any overtime that may have been worked in FY 21 because this has some retro components to it. But that's fundamentally the impact on the contract has on the operating budget.
Tony, can you tell us what union this represents and how many people are in that department or that union?
There's 25. It's AFSCME. Fundamentally, they're in highway, sewer, and water, and they're either wastewater treatment operators, sewer treatment operators, foremen, lead folks that in those departments.
But what we got in the mail was an email was a memorandum of agreement. So it seemed to be more about job postings and sick leave and stuff. So are we not really voting on those percentages that you just described, or we're more voting
Well,
on
that's embedded in that contract. So in fact, I'm just giving you the information and the implications of that contract, and you'll get a separate order to vote on the actual appropriation that will pay for some of the FY 21 costs, FY 22 costs.
Okay, thank you.
Tony, quick question. For the life of the contract, is this a 1% increase over the 2 years, or is this a 2% increase? So it's 1% first year, 0.5 the second year, and then the last year it's 0.5.
The first year in first year, they get a signing bonus. So it's a one-time payment. So there's no accumulation impact on the contract. In year one, there are 5 employees that will receive an increase because they were off the grid and we're aligning the grid to a compensation study. But the net effect to the overall budget is 0.5%. And the same thing would apply in FY 22. So the overall impact is 0.5%. And that's split between general fund, water fund, sewer fund. I don't know if that answers your question.
It does. Thank you, Tony.
You're welcome.
And Tony, I thought I heard you say that new members will receive a one-time $750 payment.
Not all new members, all members will
Okay.
receive $750 for it's non-recurring, it's a signing bonus.
Is that new, or is that something they normally get?
Because there's no COLA for any of the existing employees, and there's only a number of employees that will receive a benefit because of the change in the wage schedule. That was really compensation for that was a one-time, no continuing cost compensation that they were willing to agree to.
And that's
So-
how it's worded in the contract, right? That it's not something they can come
Nope,
back for.
that is correct, is
Just want to make
assigned.
sure, because I know in another
Yeah.
contract in the district, well, I shouldn't say the district. Yes, I should. It stayed too long, so I just want to make sure that
Nope,
it's
one
clear.
time, one payment, that's it, done. Doesn't add to base, doesn't add to anything.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and I know I've made this argument before that this is, one understaffed department or departments overall.
That's correct.
So, at $750 to a one-time, can't really begrudge that. All right, and like Tony said, we'll see this anyways too in the future. Do we have any other questions on this contract recommendation?
Motion to approve, Chris.
Do we have a second?
Yep, I said,
Okay, thank you, MJ. Josh, if we get a roll call,
Nate,
aye?
Leah,
Aye.
MJ,
aye.
Susie,
Aye.
Julie,
Aye.
Chris.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion was approved.
Okay, thank you. Just under additional items for discussion, we're all thankful that, MJ has joined us. Sometimes we're one person short of a quorum, it can be difficult sometimes. One thing I'm going to ask too, we have a member that has not been on a meeting since 2019 with us. I don't have the exact date right in front of us. Josh did send it to me. So it's been a couple of years. So I am going to ask Josh to send an email to the appointing authority to see what's going on.
Okay, I can do that.
All right, and I hope that everybody else is in agreement with that. We want to have active members on this committee.
Yes.
And so that'll be the first step that we'll take in that direction with that. All right, we have nothing else specific on here right now. Does anybody have anything that they would like to bring up right at the moment?
I do have one thing, Nate. It's more like a scheduling type thing, and want to let you
Okay.
guys know when my availability is for most meetings.
Okay,
It's looking like that based on upon my current work schedule and my outside obligations. I'm usually available Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Mondays after 7 o'clock.
okay. Yeah, we've had discussions in the past too about different dates. One thing that we kind of bump up against, MJ, is obviously when the town council is meeting too, because they generally meet on Tuesdays and then refer, so we try to do business the night before. But I can certainly put it out there if people want to send me if they have any thoughts on a different night than Monday.
Mondays are really tough for me, and I think I've expressed this a couple times. The only reason I was able to even make it tonight was because of the rain. And I know previously we had been doing Tuesday and then we switched to Monday. And honestly, they're going to be impossible for me going forward.
All right, any other thoughts about dates or days?
Well, I think we also need to take into consideration Josh's availability, right? Because he's filling
Yeah,
in right
right.
now for the council's clerk. So
Yeah, Josh, what how do you look?
So yeah, I mean, Tuesdays would be impossible because, that would be starting the meeting a little close to
Yep.
the town council meetings. Right now, Mondays and Wednesdays are free for me for the most part. The CPC does meet on Wednesdays, or the last Wednesday of each, or the fourth Wednesday of each month. So
Yeah.
that just had to be taken into consideration. I mean, Mondays are definitely going to be my best day for you guys. I usually reserve it for you guys whenever I get approached by another committee, but you know, if you guys probably meet the most out of all my committees.
Right.
Oh,
So,
we attempt to.
Yeah, right. So MJ, is it like no Mondays you can make 6:30?
So I can definitely do what I can to make sure Mondays are available for me. I actually have just a I have usually like a doctor's appointment every so often on Mondays, and it usually is something I can't really change, but I've been able to negotiate those change in time. So I'm gonna actually, as a result, since Mondays sound like they're the best date, I can probably just reach out to my physician and let them know that we'll have to go forward and change those times. So I want to make sure that I'm fully available for the committee, because that was my intent, was to be on the committee to make sure that we could get the work of the town done in an
That's right.
expedient manner. So I will do what I can to avail myself of the committee more than my other obligations.
You know, and I know that Leah, I know it's real tough for you too. I mean, I can't say that Wednesdays necessarily would be bad for me. You know, being self-employed, I can usually work my schedule. So that's a thought. You know, we can think about Wednesdays if we have two members that it's difficult for on Mondays. And Josh, you said Wednesdays is one of your days.
Yeah, just not the fourth Wednesday. We just have to keep that in mind, especially if we get close to town council meetings.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we're meeting quorum, it won't be an issue. But you know, if we get a Wednesday before the town council meeting, that might be an issue.
Yeah, right.
When you say the Wednesday before, so if they meet on a Tuesday, we'd have to meet the Wednesday before, right? Because the Wednesday after would be ineffective, wouldn't it?
Right. What I mean is, since the CPC meets the fourth Wednesday of each month,
Yeah,
and a lot of the town council meetings are the first week of each month.
right. So couldn't we do like the first and the third? Wouldn't we go back to like the first and the third? Or something along those lines, or no?
Yeah. If we're meeting quorum, that's what I'm getting at. It's not an issue. But if we're running into the same situation where we're postponing it each week because we're not meeting quorum, that's where it might run into an issue.
Correct. And MJ, when you said after 7, so does that mean 7 works if it's a Wednesday, or does not work?
You mean Monday?
Well, I thought she said Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday. I don't know. Maybe I heard it wrong.
Monday
I
is off the
I
table
can
for me
clarify.
for the most part, all the time. And I think it was MJ that said after 7, but Mondays for me are nearly impossible just due to kid commitments. I can try, but it is really hard.
No, I'm okay switching to Wednesdays. I'm just trying to figure out if it needs to be 7 o'clock in order.
No, time on other days doesn't matter for me personally. It's just Mondays in general. I'm busy with kid stuff until about 9 o'clock at night.
And I can clarify mine a bit. So for Mondays, it is anytime after 7, or I can do between 5 and 6. It's cutting it close since I get out of work at 4:30 on Mondays. But Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I can do any time after 5 p.m. Those days are perfectly fine for me. But I just wanted to clarify that, Julie, just to make sure.
What about you, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I'm completely open. Wednesdays are fine for me.
Wednesday's fine for me too.
And like I said, I don't in general. So I guess the one person we need to ask too is, he's off the call, is Tony. If Wednesdays are okay.
I can probably speak a little bit to that, just because he does usually have a budget and finance committee meeting on Mondays that normally would conflict with us.
Okay.
So Wednesday, and I can check with them too. I can also send out an email, Nate, to everybody just to confirm, because we'll need to just touch base with Eric too.
Yeah, cool. Yep.
But yeah, why don't I email Tony tomorrow, along with Eric, the rest of the committee, and just get a feel for moving into Wednesdays.
Okay, Wednesdays at 6:30. Like I said, I as long as we have the time to react, to town council's referrals to us, that's obviously the big concern.
Yep.
I have a question on Wednesdays. Would 7 be too late, or even 6:45? You guys would, Is 7 too late for everybody?
No, I don't love 7, but could make it work.
No, that's fine. I can try 6:30.
My schedule is such in the middle of the week that any time after 5 PM is completely apropos for me. It's totally fine.
All right, so yeah, why don't you get that email out, Josh, and then if we do switch to Wednesdays, we'll come up with our next date, because the town council, right, they're meeting tomorrow night, but then they have some time off, right? They don't meet again until, well, they meet again August 3rd, right?
Correct.
Yep, that's when
And then I don't see them meeting again though in August. Is that correct?
yeah, they just meet once a month in the summer.
Okay.
Right, so if they're
All right.
meeting August 3rd, then we'd maybe potentially be meeting Wednesday, the last Wednesday in July, if there's something that comes up for that? Or
We
is
wouldn't
this,
be able to do that.
what's that?
We wouldn't be able to do that because I have a CPC.
Okay,
Yeah, so
Right.
we'd actually want to do it next Wednesday
correct.
on the 21st, if
Right.
we do Wednesday.
If
And
we
you
need
know, I
something
mean,
third.
sometimes we may have to do Monday evenings, or I mean, if we have a little bit of flexibility.
Yeah,
it's
I
good,
can't
but-
make the 21st, just so you know.
Okay. I know Eric's gone this week. I'm sure he's back from vacation next week, Julie. So let's just anticipate that right at the moment, the 21st.
And sorry to interrupt you, Nate, but I
Yep.
do just want to make it clear, like, if we have any issues with quorum
Yep.
and we don't meet it on the 21st, I won't be, we'll need to know right away if people can make it on Monday, because I'll need to post on Thursday.
On Thursday, that's right, because
Yep.
we have our open meeting laws, and the rule is Josh has to get it in the Thursday before, because it's a half day on Friday for the town employees.
Yep, so we want to make sure 48 hours is met.
Yep. So that's it. And I think that's probably maybe what we'll do moving forward. And maybe if the fourth Wednesday conflicts, then yes, if we have to have an alternate date, we go back to the Monday, the 26th. If we can't, that's just the way I see it, just looking at it here briefly. So, okay, Josh, so why don't we do that? Why don't you get that email out to the committee tomorrow? That'd be great.
Okay, we'll do.
And let's make sure, like I said, Tony can make it there too. But like you said, he already has usually the budget subcommittee meeting with the town councilors. So maybe he would appreciate it too if it frees him up a little bit on Monday evenings.
All right, yeah, I can
Okay.
get that out tomorrow.
All right. Is there anything else?
I did have one more thing, Nate. Sorry to be a bit of a hassle.
Okay,
But
go ahead.
does anyone know when we'll start going back to in-person meetings? I know some municipalities are starting to do like a hybrid model where they have their committees meeting in person in town buildings, but they still have accessibility to folks to be able to watch via Zoom at home. Do we have any plan coming up in the near term for that?
Well, I know that the town clerk sent out a notice, and Josh, we don't have to meet in person until April 2022.
That's correct, yep.
Is that correct?
Yep.
And one thing that, I agree in some ways, MJ, when we sit around the table and we're discussing it, it can be a little more, intimate and in our discussions and stuff, but there's also the convenience too of the Zoom meetings for a lot of people. There's it's a good point though. I mean, does anybody have any thoughts on that? Meeting in person.
I'm for
My
it,
only-
but I understand if others aren't.
My
Yeah,
only
I-
thought, I mean, I'm for it either way, but my only thought is we should be fully one way or the other. I don't think there should be like a mix
Yeah.
of some in the room and some on Zoom. Is that just, I think that muddies things up a little bit more.
I was actually gonna say, I kind of like the idea of a hybrid, but
Well,
that's what happens when you get a whole bunch of different opinions together, right?
That's right. And then there's the issue of vaccination. Who is, who isn't,
Hey,
do we have the right to ask that, I mean,
if I can interrupt just for one
Go ahead,
second. So
Joe.
I can give you guys an idea. I've actually trained on the Zoom room. And
Yep.
just to give you guys kind of a quick overview of how it works, when you come in for the hybrid meetings, you're sitting in the council room and we're going to be sitting at tables that are spaced out, and you'll actually be sitting in front of a laptop there too, with a microphone in front of you. So
Okay.
it won't be, you know, the old small room that we had. It'll be the council
Right.
chambers, and you'll be sitting in front of a laptop anyways.
Right. All right. So we wouldn't all be jammed into one room. Okay.
No.
All right. That's good to know. Maybe if I put a little suggestion out there that, you know, maybe, I don't know. So why don't you put that out in the email too, Josh? Let's do a little informal vote on meeting in person, hybrid.
Well,
Okay.
do we have enough people right now to kind of do that? And we're really only missing Eric, right?
Yeah, we are only missing Eric. Yep.
I mean, I think I'm not saying not count his vote. I'm just saying, you know, instead of Josh having to get the vote from everyone, is it a matter of like, we give our votes tonight and then he can request Eric's point of view?
We even know if Eric's available on Wednesdays. Does anybody know his? Because he
Yeah.
is the vice chair.
Yeah. So we do need to get that figured out.
Yeah, it's same with Tony.
Yeah, same with Tony. So let's take that step first. Let's see if Wednesdays work. And then if Wednesdays work, because I have no problem meeting in person either. I know in the past it was even harder though. Sometimes to get a quorum when we met in person because somebody just wouldn't show. It's just harder. You know, in some ways this format is more convenient for people. So I'm torn a little bit, I have to say, but I'm also a big believer in meeting face to face too. So. And I think that maybe the members of the public deserve that also.
Could we alternate? I mean, like one meeting we do in person and then another one we do online, and then it's a happy medium maybe?
I mean,
That's
we
gonna
can
cause mass confusion.
Okay. All right.
And
I'm just gonna
sorry to
see-
interrupt again.
Yep.
But another thing we have to just double check is the
Yep.
planning. I think the planning board is the only committee that's meeting in person right now. They're doing the
Yep.
hybrid meetings.
Yep.
They're booked for the council chambers for Wednesdays normally. So I would have to
Right.
just see what their schedule looks like. And they've already got dibs and on the calendar for a while. So I'll just have to check the Wednesday schedule is all.
Okay. I'm just gonna for right now. Let's just see if Tony and Eric can meet on Wednesday. All right.
Okay.
Let's do that, and then I'm thinking maybe this next one we'll probably still do virtually, but moving forward, I certainly like the idea of meeting in person. And yeah, Josh, check obviously with the planning board too.
Okay.
Okay, great conversations, everyone. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the input. Does anybody have anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, Josh, if you want to do a roll call for us.
Nate,
Aye.
Leah,
Aye.
MJ,
Aye.
Susie,
Aye.
Julie,
Aye.
Chris.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion was approved. The meeting's adjourned.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Good night.